Hey guys, it's it's Michael B. Tonight, we're going to talk about why this room looks very different and a situation I've been forced to do in the last couple days that's put me in quite a spot and is forcing me to downsize some of my Arcade1Up collection. It's really depressing, and anyways, I'll tell you more about it tonight on the show. And also, we're going to talk about what happened with Arcade1Update. This show was supposed to go live this past Friday. I know some other people probably filled you in, but I'll give you my take on it and what I think happened. And man, what a horrible, horrible situation. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoy the show tonight. Hopefully we can have a lot of fun discussing two really depressing topics. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. This is Chill and Chat with Michael B. So, guys, I have a very, 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 very different setup in this room today. Hopefully the mic sounds okay. I actually tried to record a video twice today, and for whatever reason, my microphone sounded like shit. Both times I recorded the full video, went back to edit it, and the microphone sounded horrible. So hopefully it doesn't sound too bad tonight. I restarted my computer. I fooled around with this, and I'm going to be honest, I have a new microphone coming. So hopefully that fixes the issue. I always had problems with this mic. I dropped it. I've got a dent in it, so it's not what I want it to be. Sounds good. It's fine. Hopefully it sounds better. What's happening, 8-Bit Bobby? Anyways, I want to say hello to a couple people here in the chat. I know this is kind of a surprise for everybody. It was a surprise for me too, but something I had to do. Downsizing, say it ain't so. 19K Fox knows. Oh. Lang's Chris, oh man, downsizing never fun, but always seems necessary at some point. Bobby Timpson says, what all are you keeping, Mike? JJ, it's he. Hey, Sterling, good to see you, brother. Ep Cyclone, remember in 2016 when we didn't have any of this? We were in good times. Got to take the bad. I had other shit. Believe me, I've always had some crap here. Gallagher Guy 8 says, downsizing or making room for new machines? No, I wish it was that simple that it was making room for new machines, but no. Mark LaRock says, baby number 3. Also, no, I wish it was that simple. Carlos says, wife moved his bed into the arcades. We'll get into it. We will get into it, guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Anyways, guys, the first thing I want to talk about is this situation going on with Arcade1Update. So we all know about 2 weeks ago tonight, Arcade1Up did a live stream where they announced their Star Wars cab. And one of the really positive things that they wanted to announce at the start of the new year was the launch of their new community engagement initiative. So first off was the new Facebook fan page. We all know how that turned out. Luckily, they saw the error in their ways, changed the name, and issued a short apology to Glenn. So that was very much appreciated, but it got off to a very rocky start. But then at least we had the Arcade1Update show where we're going to have somebody outside of the community, somebody that potentially couldn't be influenced by Arcade1Up to ask the hard-hitting questions and get the answers and the transparency we've all wanted from Arcade1Up all along. Travis. So this show was supposed to go live this coming Friday. You guys may have seen I did a video last Thursday where I talked about Travis had dropped some hints on one of B-Kong's video that they're going to be talking about Marvel vs. Capcom 2 online. And in fact, that was in the title of the video itself. Friday came and it went, and we got absolutely no Arcade1Update show. In fact, the only thing we did get was kind of a bizarre post from Travis on Twitter, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. But we've got a $2 super chat here from my buddy Stringer Films. Stringer, one of the best real arcade collectors out there. Guys, go check out his stuff. Stringer has one of the coolest home arcade collections you've ever seen. It's all real arcades. He restores them. He does such a good job, and he gets killer deals. Anyways, let's all talk about everyone's favorite ice cream flavor. I'm a little bit difficult on that one. I like Rocky Road a lot. I love Rocky Road, but probably my favorite is, it's a Ben & Jerry's flavor, and I can't remember the name of it now because I haven't had it in a while. It's actually completely sold out here in Canada. I can't remember the last time I saw Ben & Jerry's, but it's got like brownie, chocolate cookie dough, chocolate ice cream. I can't remember the name of it. It's killing me. Anyways, thank you very much for the super chat, Stringer Films. So the 1-Up update show, let me just bring it up. The only actual notice that we got that the show kind of wasn't going ahead was a bizarre post from Travis on Twitter, and I just want to bring that up for you guys now. So let's bring it up. Let's see if this is the right one. Boom, there it is. So Travis had posted, "Till next time, waving emoji or waving GIF and whelp at hashtag Arcade1Up." So that's all we saw with him waving, and then the show never went ahead. Obviously on Facebook, people were pretty upset, and if this ever opens up, here you can see it's a post from Chad Kinney on the official Arcade1Up fan page, and you can see the comments here. People were really, really upset. Charlie Bouzian, I hope I said that right. "So much for better communication and transparency." What a joke. And that's really it. If anything that I would say out of this that was really, really, really frustrating was the fact that we were promised this new show that was going to show transparency and open communication with the community. That was the idea, community engagement. And they go ahead and they cancel the show with no update, no notice, nothing. It's just typical Arcade1Up, what they always do. Just do not communicate at all. We were getting a show, do communicate, and then they didn't communicate, even that they were canceling the show, that they were starting the premiere episode to communicate with us. Very, 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 very strange. Stringer Films with another $2 super chat. You didn't have to do that, brother. Thank you very much. Try Bluebell's oatmeal cream pie if you can find it. I don't think we have Bluebell's oatmeal cream pie here in Canada, but I will definitely keep my eyes open for it, Stringer, I promise. Thank you again for the super chat. So, who is in that picture? That is Arcade1Up's, I forget what his official title is now, but David McIntosh. He's been with their marketing department forever. He's a good speaker for the company. He's very professional, so he was going to be a welcome addition to the cast. And Travis is a plus YouTuber, 100k subscribers on YouTube. He's more in the tech space. That's what he covers usually, but you've seen him around the home arcade space. He's been on the Retro Buzz a number of times, and he was on the Outsiders podcast with Moat, Your Average Gamer, and Retro Ralph for a while. So he's got some chops, and he was going to ask the difficult questions. Like you can see there, what's up with Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Online? Anyways, I'll catch up with you guys here. So, and all it is ice cream conversation in the chat now. So anyways, it didn't happen. There was no communication. And we were all left scratching our heads. Why? Was this just more of... There we go. Glenn knows. Buzz, Retro Buzz. Console Kit says, think David is VP of Retail now. Almost CEO. I don't know if Vice President of Retail is CEO, but God only knows who is running that company. That's all I will say. Carlo with a shout out to Glenn here. Hey Glenn, great review on the ALP Micro. That is a really cool product, right? I've got it in my daughter's room now after I changed out the legs on my At Games Legends pinball for the Sega Stern legs to give me the extra height. I put the old ALP legs on the Micro and put them down to the lowest height. Now my daughter has this little pinball table in her room. It's awesome. So anyways, Arcade1Up was supposed to do this one update show, transparency, all that. No update was provided, but it looks like we may have some kind of answer as to why this possibly happened. So let me show you this, guys. I do want to show you something else first. If I can get my mouse, you may notice I'm looking up like a crazy person. That's because I no longer have a second screen here, and now I have a giant TV over here that I'm using as my secondary screen, so I apologize. I also want to show you guys this before we get too far into it. So here we go. 19K Fox asking the hard-hitting questions on Twitter. So why did you leave your subscribers hanging, Arcade1Up? And you can see down there some people taking shots at Travis like he has control over this. Like, do you think Travis canceled the show? I don't know. But anyways, we can't lay all the blame on Travis. This is par for the course for Arcade1Up. And that's 1,000,000% the right comment, Fox. And I agree. All right, here we go. I've got a super chat I want to show you guys here now. Huge super chat from Console Fanboy. You didn't have to do that. So online leaderboards on MK30 is tied to the cab. That means future MK cabs will release will force you to start over. An evergreen cab with revisions every 6 months should be tied to your email account. Wow, MK2 Deluxe is a no buy. Thank you very much, Zohar. You didn't have to do that huge super chat. But let me comment on this. I am the kind of nerd idiot that has replaced some of their Arcade1Up cabinets. And on top of that, my records disappearing is so frustrating. But what pisses me off more is I don't want to advertise that I'm MichaelBtheGameGenie or anything like that. I usually just put my name on the online as Michael B. That's all I want to do. And I have been forced several times now to change the name, my username that I use. I don't even care about losing my records. I'm not as good as you are at Mortal Kombat, Zohar, or even Bubbles. Zohar, last time I checked, you were #1 on the Bubbles leaderboard. But I just want to use the same name, and it can't bring my records over, but it does block me from using the same username when I replace my cab. So that is frustrating. So I agree that that's a stupid thing. Arcade1Up, if there's some way they could tie it to the email address and be able to bring it over from cab to cab, completely agree with you. That's something they should do. Seems like an easy thing. Thank you very much for the super chat, Zohar. We had another $5 super chat here. Don't care about the poor communications, just enjoying the cabs as they are. Have fun, guys. Yeah, that's a excellent point as well. If you just like the product, you don't care about all the noise, that's fine too. Great comment, Music Mike. Not everything's about getting tied up in the drama, so there they go. Thank you very much for the super chat, brother. Anyways, I just wanted to bring this up here on the screen and go over here. 19K Fox, all that nutsness. But we do have a possible reason for the show being canceled. From what I understand, this wasn't really on Travis. Arcade1Up kind of just pulled out at the last minute. And I don't know who the onus is on at that point. Maybe Travis. I'm going to be honest with you. I wrote him personally and said, hey, Travis, maybe you might want to send out a message or something, but it's not really his place to send out an official message from Arcade1Up. And honestly, this is an Arcade1Up co-branded official show that they're doing with Travis. So maybe it should have been directly from Arcade1Up. But Arcade1Up never communicates. They never communicate with anybody. I don't know what the deal is with their marketing and communications team, but it's never a focus to do direct community engagement or engagement with their hardcore fan base. I don't know why. There you go. So anyways, I want to bring this up. If you take a look over here to Arcade1Up's, I think his title is Senior VP of Licensing. Anyways, John D., on February 2nd, the same day that I put out my video talking about that one update show and how we were possibly going to finally get an update to bring Marvel vs. Capcom 2 online, John D. responded to a tweet from Ed Boon and said, "It's real, Ed, all of it." And Ed Boon's tweet was in response to Anthony Vitale. Now, if you're not familiar with Anthony, he's done some great stuff with, graphic arts and digital renders. Some of the stuff that Zohar has been doing for the free MK4 movement, Anthony Vitale helped out. So they made this video of this Arcade1Up Mortal Kombat 4 cab and put it out there, and Ed Boon just responded and said, "Hey guys, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but this is in fact fake," and he explained why. And John, as a troll, put this message out there to say, "Oh, it's real, Ed, all of it." And it was just a joke. It was just supposed to be a troll. However, one of the big do-nots in licensing or any company, like if you hear Michael from iArcade talk about it, I don't know about AtGames so much, but usually what these companies do, if you ask them about games, about what's coming out or what they're doing, they'll say, "We can't talk about games that we don't currently have under license." So I guess that's a big no-no. And by John using that joke, it kind of insinuated that Arcade1Up was working on a Mortal Kombat 4 that maybe they didn't have the license for already. Now, if you take a look, we'll go back there. What John had to do on Saturday, and this is what reveals what actually happened, was, let's see if I can find it. Here it is. 1 of 2. I'm retracting my tweet. Sorry for looking up, guys. Where he clarified the video from Anthony Vitale was fake. My tweet and personal account was made in jest, clearly in poor taste. In no way have Arcade1Up played a part in making the video. He goes on to further say, "In fact, we do not condone any mods to licensed products. I sincerely apologize to Warner Brothers family for my tweet. Appreciate all the support they have given to Arcade1Up to provide the fans with the arcade classic Mortal Kombat experience they deserve." So, I mean, I don't know if Ed Boon or Warner Brothers saw this tweet, got upset, and then contacted Arcade1Up, or if Arcade1Up just saw John's tweet and was like, "Well, this is a nightmare," and then proactively reached out to John and asked him to issue a retraction and an apology just to cover their ass. But anyways, I guess in their mind, they thought this was a huge marketing snafu or a risk factor. And they didn't want to go into that Arcade1Update show with this out there possibly being a huge problem that someone absolutely went after him for in the chat, maybe overshadowing the first episode, or maybe it was just, honestly, the first episode didn't matter anymore because they had to deal with what they thought was a communications nightmare. I don't know the goddamn answer. I don't know at all. It just sucks that something like this happened right around the same time they were supposed to do this show and finally provide transparency and clarity to the fan base, especially about the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cab. Now, all of that could be bullshit, and it could just be they didn't want to do the show. David McIntosh at the last minute wasn't available, or maybe the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 online update that they were going to talk about wasn't as ready as they thought it was. I mean, they've only had 4 months to get it online. What's another little while, right? I don't know the answer, but anyways, it sucks. It seems probable this is the reason the show was canceled, but the thing to focus on more than anything else is they were supposed to do this show called Arcade1Update, where it was this first show about, providing updates to the community, doing this stuff, and then they canceled it without even giving notice. It's just the whole community engagement initiative right now has just started off on such a sour start. You had the nightmare with the Facebook page, and then this. It's just, man, what a bad launch for a community initiative. I don't know what to say other than that. It's just a nightmare. I mean, I don't know if it's an overreaction by Arcade1Up to John's tweet, what the deal is, but Jesus Christ, it shouldn't be this complicated. Oh, here we go. When you look up, I pretend you're praying Nostalgia won't show up on Super Game Room Dudes this week. $5 super chat from Galaga I88. I absolutely love Nostalgia. I do. And I look forward to seeing him every week. We throw barbs back and forth. Like right now, we are on, we have a group chat for like a lot of our friends that do YouTube, and Nostalgia has been giving me a hard time because we all love Dragon Ball Z. So I say Fox is Goku, I say I am Vegeta, and I always make the comment that Nostalgia is Yajirobe. And Nostalgia's really turned it around on me. He's telling me that I'm too much of a bitch to be Vegeta, because Vegeta doesn't get upset by what people say, and I'm more of a TN. So he's really nailing me on this. And if you watch Dragon Ball, you know you don't want to be a TN. Anyways, it's just this new setup. I'm trying to get used to it. I've got like my screen there and a big 55-inch TV over my head. I'm trying to maximize the space in this room, which we'll get into in a minute. We've got another big super chat here from Console Fanboy. You didn't have to do that, brother. WB is the worst. It had nothing to do with 1UP. Warner Brothers refused to pay Pacina. WB denied the remake of Mortal Kombat 1-3, even with 25K signatures. Warner Brothers has no sense of humor, no vision. Warner Bros. Sucks. Well, I will tell you, with what they're doing with the DC... No, that's DC. That's not Warner Brothers. Getting confused here for a second. Anyways, I can't... Maybe I am right on that. But anyways, Warner Brothers, there's a lot of problems with Warner Brothers. Another one is Robotron is basically caught up in limbo right now because technically it's a Warner Brothers property, but they don't know if it's Warner Brothers property, and they can't be bothered to get their lawyers to check whether or not they own it. So we may never get a Robotron release because Warner Brothers just is too lazy to make money. Anyways, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Yes, Warner Brothers refused to pay Pacina. Like, even Arcade1Up, from what I hear, Arcade1Up were willing to pay Pacina, and Warner Brothers stepped in and said, no, we don't want him paid. Like, what a weird company. Thank you very much for the super chat, Console Fanboy. I appreciate it, brother. Glenn, I'm 17. Glenn, with my white beard and your white hair, I don't think anybody will believe we're 17. Anyways, guys, that's what happened with that one update show. It's just a massive disappointment. We had this opportunity. I'm not even going to say for transparency and stuff like that, because I can't make that kind of promises. And Arcade1Up have shown no ability to really be transparent and provide updates, especially over the course of the last couple of years. But what I do feel bad for is I told people that it looks like we're getting a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 online update. A lot of people got excited. We could possibly play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 online last weekend, or at least get some kind of time frame. And we got screwed out of that again by some kind of political bullshit. So that sucks, and I'm very sorry. OTG stopped in to say free MK4, free MK4. LOL, Android 17. Wait a minute, which one? Yeah, Android 17. That's a good call, Glenn. That's a good one. Galaguy88 says, I would be Krillin, and you know why. Anyways, guys, that's just a little bit. I wanted to touch on that. I don't think this is Travis's fault. I don't think Travis had anything to do with it. It's just more Arcade1Up stuff, and more than likely related to what I showed you about John D's Twitter activity and how either Warner Brothers or Arcade1Up took it. That's my guess. Anyways, moving on to the thing I really wanted to talk about tonight, the big one, and that is I'm in the process right now of, unfortunately, downsizing my Arcade1Up collection. You guys know over the course of the last 4 years, I've gone nuts, man. I have bought almost every single cab. I got really addicted into the whole hobby, the ease of access of being able to buy an Arcade1Up cabinet, and it feeling to me like an arcade in my home with all these Arcade1Up cabinets. I've been doing it for a while now, and over the course of this past year, I had one big room, which was my arcade room, and then I wanted to expand. So, of course, I opened up my office up here, and I brought up my multicades, and I opened this up as a second arcade, and I brought all my multicades up in my office here. But I had to take it a step further, and I got rid of our weight room and our exercise room downstairs. I pushed all that into the storage and really packed everything together, and I took over a third room in our house, which I called the overflow room, which quickly ended up turning into an arcade. And at first, my wife was super cool about it. She was like, I understand, like, you know, it's hard to get stuff, move stuff in and out, and you've got a couple out there, so that's fine. Until a little while ago, I was just nuts over Christmas. I bought the Pac-Mania cab, so I have Pac-Mania, Pac-Man, Namco Legacy, plus Miss Pac-Man. I got 3 different Pac-Man 3/4 scale Arcade 1-Ups in my house now. I got Big Buck Hunter because it went on sale. I already had my Pong Pub table out there because I didn't have enough room. And of course, I got the 2XL cabs and my Pro Killer Instinct. So here in this overflow space, I had 6 arcades. And I also put up, like, my wife calls it porn lighting, but I put up, like, light strips like you see back there. And then I put up, like, blue lights in the ceiling so it had that arcade atmosphere. I basically built an extension onto my arcade. But what happened, unfortunately, was my wife went down there the other day, noticed the whole setup, and realized it was not really an overflow space. It was actually an arcade. And easy for me to say that my wife told me no, that's not what happened. My wife had a conversation with me, and she told me she was really disappointed that I was taking over pretty much the entire basement for arcades. And she really spoke to me and made me realize that maybe I gone a little bit too far. So I spent the weekend thinking about it, how I could move stuff around so I could free that space back up. And this is where I'm to right now. You can see this room is a lot different. I'll go full screen here and take the chat off so you can see. Sex in an arcade drives the ladies wild. Yeah, I don't know about that. David H. say, Game Genie got put back in the lap. Disappointed. Ouch. She wasn't mad. She was disappointed. So anyways, I'm going to go full screen here now so you can see right here by the side of me. You can see I've got Mortal Kombat right here, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I've got my Street Fighter 2 Big Blue, and I've got NFL Blitz back there that was already up here. Now, the reason I went this way, anybody who's ever tried to play me online in a fighting game down in my arcade, especially Mortal Kombat, like She Lion's experienced it, I think Zohar has experienced it. I have really bad Wi-Fi connection down in my arcade, so I had to make room to get those 6 arcades out of this 3rd arcade and then into 1 or 2 rooms. So the way I decided to do it was I decided that I was going to take all my fighting games, online fighting games, except for Killer Instinct, up here in this office and really modify this office, change it so it becomes more of a full arcade. Now, I never wanted to do anything but have an arcade downstairs, so it's kind of weird having the Arcade 1-Ups here. But it's a good thing in the sense that now they're very close to the source, and if I need to, I can actually hardwire the arcade so I can finally enjoy the online fighting experience with Mortal Kombat, because that never seemed to work very, very well down in the basement. I've got Marvel vs. Capcom 2 here, Big Blue, and Blitz. So hopefully all of the online experience for those cabs is fine, but I'm really cramped, as you can see. Really, 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 really cramped. And then what I did was the 2 XLs and my Pro cab, I actually moved those into my arcade, and this is where the downsizing comes into it. MG, actually, great idea. Sell all those cabs and invest in a decent network. It's not that. I wish it was that simple, but I moved those into the arcade, which I have been shy about doing because once I got the XLs and the Pros, I knew I wanted all my arcades to be about that size. So I was hesitant to bring them in to the arcade because then all the 3/4 scale would look small and I'd be wanting to move those out. $2 super chat from Stringer Films. At least you don't need good Wi-Fi for MVC2. That's a very, very good point, right? This week on Nostalgic Canadian Hoarders. It feels like it, man. It feels like it. I do. I actually, my brother was helping me move all this stuff yesterday, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Arcade 1-Up stools just here in this little office. So there you go. So anyways, I've got getting back to what I was saying, I got the 3 big Arcade 1-Up, the 2XL and the Pro now moved into my arcade. And this is kind of where the downsizing comes in, because obviously as more XLs and Pros are released, I'm going to have to start moving some of the 3/4 scale out in that space to fit more of the XLs and Pros, because that's the direction I'm going. And that was always the direction I was going. And I've told you guys about this. That's what I want Arcade1Up to be. The other downsizing part comes with, I had to fit 6 arcades into 2 rooms that were already packed to the gills. That's not possible. So I'm also at a point now where I have to figure out what I can let go, and that's the part that's killing me. You might want to talk about hoarding, you might want to talk about addiction or whatever it is, but I actually really like these. I love every one I have. I don't want to let them go, and even when I do let them go sometimes, I feel bad about it. Even that's why I had the overflow room in the first place, was because I didn't want to say goodbye to another cab if I wanted to get a new one, but it just got to be too much. So I'm at a point right now where I still have 3 Arcade1Up products out in the exercise room that I have to figure out a space for. So I got my 2 XLs and my Pro into the arcade, but now I'm left with Buck Hunter, which I just got, and have a light up marquee coming for my Pong Pub table and my 3rd Pac-Man cab, that Pac-Mania cab, out in that space, and now I have to figure out how to cram them into an already packed arcade. So I don't know what to do. Spoken like a true hoarder. I feel this disappointment. And yeah, I'll say this. You might have seen all these videos popping up on YouTube recently, the retro problem or whatever it is. I've never watched a single one of those videos. To be honest, I don't give a shit. You know what my retro problem is? I don't have enough time to play everything I want to play. So I don't know what everybody else is saying about a retro problem, whether the games are more expensive now, whatever it is, doesn't really matter. But I wanted to just meme that and talk about my Arcade1Up problem. Gallagher Guy 88, $5 super chat, $4.99. Mad respect for you taking your wife's feelings into consideration. When you collect something this big, it ends up affecting more than you think. Yeah, I mean, and thank you very much for the super chat too, by the way. But Kaylee says it here, and it's 100% true. Happy wife, happy life. She's got mad at me before because I did something I shouldn't have done, or bought something I said I wasn't going to buy, or, took over some space, put something she didn't, this is going to sound really bad, put something somewhere she didn't want. But this time she was just like, I'm really disappointed. This is my house too. We need space for storage. So I said, I'm going to fix this weekend. So I didn't make any content, and I spent the weekend just moving shit around and trying to figure out how to make it work. Now, 100%, I showed a picture to, the YouTube guys that I'm pretty close with, the Chicago guys, and they were all like, that looks pretty cramped in there. And it is. I still have to try to work it out so it's a little bit more cozy. Probably the worst of the bunch is Blitz, because it's turned on an angle there, and player 1 and 4 are inaccessible, but I was never going to play with player 1 and 4 anyways, and I was never going to have anybody over to play Blitz, so there it is. So I've still got some work to do, and it sucks. And I've got to figure out right now, I think I can get Buck Hunter in the arcade, and I've decided, and it kills me, I'm going to sell the Pong Pub table. Love that thing, but I'm going to let it go just because it takes up a lot of space. But the one I'm confused about is what I'm going to do with the Pac-Mania cab, because I just got it. It was on this great sale, and I wanted to play online for Pac-Man and try to, up my scores. But I don't know. I think that's where I'm to. Pac-Mania may have to be sold too. And then when other things happen, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I love everything I have in there. There's nothing in there that I look at and I'm like, I regret buying. Like, I'm not going to sell Tron. I'm not going to sell Outrun. I'm not going to sell Golden Axe. Like, there's nothing I want to say goodbye to. So it's tough. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to downsize anymore. Like, it's easy. Like, they're coming out with a new Midway Legacy Deluxe cab, so I can say goodbye to this Mortal Kombat and just replace that one. May sound stupid, but the screen on this one sucks. And hopefully the screen on the next one doesn't suck. How do you get 318 people? Damn, dude. I don't know, console fanboy. I will tell you, I'm very lucky. That's how. I'm just a lucky dude. Mike, you're going to rebuy Frogger, right? Oh, that's another one. That kills me. Every time I see something posted in one of the groups, I see someone talking about the Frogger cap. Like, I actually miss Frogger. I hate that I had to sell it. I hate that I had to sell any of these. Put the Pong pub table guts and monitor on your Tempest cab. It will be vertical. You know what? Maybe I could keep it for that. 318 people won't fit in that room, that's for sure. Maybe. Tegan 1968 says keep them in the boxes. Oh, I wish I could, Epcyclone, but if I put the Legends pinball in the corner, which corner? I could put it in that corner, but like, here's the other thing I'm not telling you. Like, I don't have any clothes in my bedroom. We don't have enough storage space in our bedroom, and my wife has the closet and has every clothes drawer. The only place I have clothes in the house is in this office. I have like a dresser right there, which I wish wasn't in here, and I need access to that closet. Otherwise, that would not be here, and the pinball would be in the corner, and this room would be much, much more functional. Believe me. In the end, you will feel better once you get rid of some. When I sold off some of my game collection, it just felt liberating. Yeah, no sweat. Thank you very much, Console Fanboy. Have a good night, brother. I'll go back to your comment, Wolf Sight, in just 1 second. Had you played any more GoldenEye? My God, have I ever. I've never beat GoldenEye, despite getting it like at launch when we were kids. I'm at the time, I wasn't good at first-person shooters, and I got lost really easily and frustrated. And I'm playing it now, and I'm more accustomed to playing first-person shooters. Obviously, as you know, time has gone on and graphics improved, playing Halo and stuff like that. I'm more accustomed to it, and I'm just having a blast with GoldenEye. So I am on the last stage of the sixth mission now. That's where I got to today. And then I think I just got mission 7, which is a long mission, and then mission 8 and 9 are 2-1 mission. And I'm going to beat it. I am 100% determined. I'm going to finally get through GoldenEye 007 now. So I want to go back to Wolf Sight's comment, and I do know what he's talking about here. This is not the first time I had a fairly large collection of something. Guys that have been watching me for a while know that at one point I had a massive physical retro gaming collection. And what happened with that was it just got to be too much. At the time, we didn't have as much space in the house as we have now. We moved into this house, and we had an apartment downstairs. So this room here used to be my wife's office she's a lawyer, so she used to practice law out of here. So my stuff was in our spare room that I had set up for gaming. But what happened was when my daughter was born, I had to give up a room, and my collection just went into storage, and I said, that's a waste. I can't play it. It's an issue too, because if anything ever happens that I lose, I don't know what it is. If I lose any of those games, there's a fire, anything like that, they're not covered under insurance. It's a huge liability. And I've told this story before. There was actually another retro collector in the space that actually had his collection. He was held at gunpoint and tried to be robbed. So it became this crazy thing that was just nuts. I don't know what to say. I don't know what just happened here. I've never seen this. Unacceptable Fringe gifted 20 MichaelBtheGenie memberships. That is so nice, man. Thank you so much for doing that. I've never seen this before. Thank you so much, Unacceptable Fringe. I appreciate that, brother. You didn't have to do that. I've never seen this. Garage Gamer, what's happening, brother? Epcyclone says, did you sell your 1-Up pinballs? So yes, I sold 2 of them. I sold Star Wars and I sold Marvel, but I kept Attack from, and people get on my case about this, Attack from Mars. I got to try to say it right because I say Mars. But Attack from Mars, I kept that one because it was what I always wanted Arcade1Up pinball to be. It's real pinball. And it's funny you bring it up because that's what I was going to originally talk about tonight, But this whole move and this situation is so fresh in my mind, I decided I want to talk about that. So next week, unless something drastically changes or news comes up, that's probably what I'll be talking about. Arcade1Up Pinball and the future of Arcade1Up Pinball and what the hell happened to it. Thanks so much, Glenn. Attack from Mers. He knows. People make fun of me all the time. Attack from Mers. So anyways, that's just where I'm to. I had to get rid of that room, and now I'm just trying to put everything back together and piece it, because like I'm excited to have the fighters up here, and I'm hoping that this provides a better experience for me playing online and fighting with friends and enjoying it. But at the same time, I heard they stole everything but the Frogger. Stringer Films, thank you very much for the super chat. So anyways, I don't know what's going to happen. I think I don't want to let anything go, but at the same time, I have to. I'm out of room. I'm back to where I was a couple of years ago. I only have so much space. And anyways, I got off topic. I was talking about this retro problem thing. My Arcade1Up problem is there's only so much money. And even more difficult than that, there's only so much space. And space has always been the enemy when it comes to me and Arcade1Up, because they'll come out with something cool. And you get to a point where I would love to have that, but I have to let something go. And I'm past that point. I got past that point with the overflow room. And now everything's just up in the arms, and I'm going to try to make this work. I don't know how. You'll probably see another video from me in the next little while. What I've got done right now isn't the final thing. I still have to figure it out, but like I'm still lucky enough. I got a giant space downstairs where I can fit 19, hopefully 20 Arcade1Up cabs in one space, and I'm lucky to have that. Plus, I have this office up here that I can enjoy as well. Time for you to be more upfront with your wife, Michael. Either the Arcade1Up stay or you don't give her any sex. I knew I was doing this wrong, and when said she was disappointed, I'd be like, no, baby, calm down. We got a $5 super chat here from John Kelman. Disassemble some cabs and store them. Every time you want to bring one back, take a different one apart. Yeah, a lot of people have said that too. You know, keep them flat packed until you want to use them. Maybe that's an option. I don't know. Prince Vinny 007 says, I think you're getting rid of all your arcades. Hey, listen, Prince Vinny, I will be honest with you. There was a point last year where the thought crossed my mind, because I desperately wanted to get a Godzilla Stern pinball table, and the Canadian distributor had some coming up, but it was in a very short time frame. But it's like $15,000 Canadian to get it here, and I thought about, it's possible, I'll liquidate all my Arcade1Ups and get it. But at the end of the day, I was like, this room, this space represents too much to me. It's not about the physical items so much as just that's my space. That's where I go and just enjoy the ambience and relax and get to sit down and play some stupid games. And it takes me back to being a kid and feeling like I'm in the arcade. We don't have arcades here, so that's what this room represented to me. But obviously, it's gone too far. Should talk to JDV at the Game Shack, maybe. Make the kids get a job to pay rent and use that to get a bigger house. Steps Gaming, you didn't have to do that. $1.99 super chat. Good luck, Michael B. Dump the cabs. New ones on the way. Thank you very much. I don't know. Raw LMC Ape X Jert. Why am I watching this? I have no idea, brother. Have a good night. Well, it's your 3 spaces. Yes and no, not really. We have a formal, I don't know what you call it, a formal living room, dining room, entertainment space that she kind of hangs out in, that we're not allowed to have anything in. It's, the fancy place with the candles, and that's the company space. That's kind of what she said. I don't know. Move the desk. That saves street cabs right there. I got to work. I got to make YouTube and stream, and I do PC gaming now, so that's it. I just want to let everyone know I'm having a really good time. Console Kits, what you don't know is he's watching the show, and he is currently at an arcade playing on an original Tapper machine. I'm very, very jealous of that. He's playing Budweiser Tapper right now as we speak. Nick Madsen says, I play our Ghostbusters pinball more than the arcades. So, well, and it disappeared. But Nick Madsen said that. It's still here on the screen. Hello, Michael B. Danzy says. Rich D says, Mike, get a new house with a basement. Oh, man, I wish it was that simple. You guys don't know how easy we have it, like how close we are to my daughter's school. I don't know what to tell you. Sam knows. It's hard to let go sometimes. Good work. Thank you very much. Anyways, guys, that's kind of what I'm going through now. I've been in the process of the last couple days, moving things around and just deciding what I'm going to do with my collection and how things are going to change. And Pitbull stops in. Love Pitbull. I can tell you right now, I have 12 full size, and I don't know what he's trying to say there. Cabaret, I think he's trying to say. But if I encroach on any other room, I'm screwed. So I'm going to buy a big shed so I can put all my games in there and run electric to it. Yeah, Killer Arcade Games. He just built like his own Killer Arcade Games shed. Really cool idea. Maybe that's an option over there. Rights Retrocade says quality over quantity, brother. Yeah, but everything I have is quality. I don't have a bad arcade down there. It's not that simple. Yeah, David H., you don't know the half of it. There's other stuff too, so yeah. Pick your faves. Maybe that's what I got to do. Garage Gamer says, are we getting a Nintendo Direct this week? I don't know. We might get a Nintendo Direct. I am one of the, as Nostalgia would call it, what is it? Entitled people that gets mad at the Nintendo Direct because it doesn't give me what I want. I don't know if I want a Nintendo Direct. I always get excited for it and then disappointed. I have a Shedcade as well, but it's split as an office. That might be an option. Maybe change out a few for partycades with the same games. I looked at that, and one of those I looked at the Street Fighter 2 partycade, but it doesn't have the same games, and it doesn't have online. So, yeah. Well, St. German, I understand what you're saying. Pick your favorites. You could always mod some of them with a Raspberry Pi. I think that's a cool idea, but I do have the At Games Legends Ultimate back there, so pretty much anything I would want to play that I don't have on an Arcade1Up currently, I could play on that. It's not about the game so much as the arcade and the experience. I think the only real way I'm going to start getting rid of some of these and it'll piece some of the stuff out is when more XLs and Pros come out and I just start transitioning, or hell, I might even start buying real arcades at some point. I've been looking at some options here in Newfoundland. I know an arcade collector that is looking to finally let some stuff go, so I might be able to grab some of his stuff, and maybe that's a direction I go in too. Who knows? Steam just did a big upgrade, booted up the ALP tonight, and was like, wow, really different interface. Interesting. Mike, what is the 1-4 player you can't live without? See, this is a nightmare question. Because that's part of the problem. Because I have, down there I have Simpsons, X-Men, Turtles, not Turtles in Time, the original Turtles, and I have Golden Axe, and I can't let any of them go. And now I have a 5th 4-player cab because I also have my XL NBA Jam in there. And honestly, I don't want any of them. Ralph Cramden with a good comment. Let a friend nearby use your cabs and rotate them. Yeah, I don't want to get a storage locker. I think that's just ridiculous. It's a waste of money. I've never liked storage lockers. So, There was a comment here from Stringer Films I don't want to miss, so I'm trying to find it. Sound like you need some new found land. Stringer, that's a dad joke. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Someone asked me if I was interested in the deluxe cabs, and I don't know. I am interested in the deluxe cabs. I like the upgrades that they made. Like, I love the fact that Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man look more like the real arcades. We don't know about the screens yet. The screens are going to be the biggest determining factor, because if it's not a, what is it called? It's not that it's a BOE monitor, because BOE is just a brand, but it's IPS monitor. So if they don't have IPS monitors in them, it's a definite no buy for me. I'm never buying another cab full price with a TN monitor in them, especially if it's not good. The other thing too is I'm also at that point where I don't really want to buy any more 3/4 scale cabs. I'm kind of focused on the XL and the Pro, so I don't know. It's a weird one for me. Like, I would possibly buy the Mortal Kombat 2 if I could swap out, Mortal Kombat 2 for the Mortal Kombat 30th anniversary, if it has a better screen. That's the only one of the deluxes that I think is probably a definite buy. The other ones I love. I absolutely love them, but I want to save my money and get XLs and Pros. I'm waiting on, I may be the only Arcade1Up fan that's saying this. I'm waiting on another Pac-Man announcement. I'm waiting on a Pac-Man XL cab announcement at some point. I see I got another super chat here from my buddy Pitbull. I will help you. All you know, buddy, will get you. And Pitbull has been a huge help. I actually write Pitbull all the time. Whenever I see a listing come up for a pinball table, or if I see a listing coming up for a home arcade, he's always the first person I write. And I'm like, what's your take on the price? He gives me awesome advice. Super, super nice guy. Thank you so much, Pitbull. And thank you for the super chat, too. Viking Funeral, light them all on fire and send them out to sea. No, I kind of do like selling them. Like, we have a little community here where I'm in Newfoundland. Like, every time I sell a cab, it's usually to the same group of people. Like, there seems to be a close-knit community that are buying these secondhand. So as much as I do hate to let them go, I also like to see them go to people. Like, they can get a cab at a deal and add it to their collection. And then we talk about arcades and shit. So that makes me happy too. Writes Retrocade, says again the same thing other people have been saying. Honestly, these things disassemble easily. Keep them flat packed. Rotate that way. Maybe. I appreciate the super chat, brother. Maybe that's the option I'll have to look at. Jasmine Labir says, honestly, don't sell any of them. Life's too short. Figure out a solution to keep them all. I'm trying. I'm going to be honest with you. I have been racking my brain. I honestly didn't think I'd be able to get all of these in here in the first place. I didn't think I'd be able to get the fighter cab, so I'm very happy with that. So let's see what I can do. I'm hoping that I can fit at least the Pac-Mania cab and Big Buck Hunter. I know I can get Big Buck Hunter in. I'm hoping I can fit the Pac-Mania cab into my arcade as well, and I don't make it too uncomfortable. Prince Vinny 007, I feel the same way you do right now, Mike. I have Killer Instinct 3/4, Turtles in Time 3/4, Outrun, First Gen Galaga, and to be honest, I want to downsize. Maybe one or two if fine to keep. Yeah, thank you very much. Get rid of the Bandai Legacy and Pac-Mania and get a Pac-Man Deluxe. Almost same games. Lisa, I got a feeling I might end up doing that. Goofy Foot, awesome comment. Okay, Michael B, I'll store all your extra cabs and welcome you to vacation here. Mitchell thinks most of them would break disassembling. See, if I followed 19K Fox's advice, I can never disassemble my cabs because they're all glued up with Loctite. Shedcade Realism, yeah, that might be the option. Anyways, guys, I don't really have much more to say. I just wanted to share my experience with you the last little while. I lost my third arcade for the right reason, because my wife was disappointed, and I am doing my best to make her happy while still trying to maintain my passion and love for these things. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I'm trying. I'm trying my best. Once you get the Legends Arcade Ultimate, why do you need anything else? Well, for some people, that's all they'll ever need because all they care about is playing the games. But then there's other people that either want real arcades or some kind of representation that makes them feel like real arcades. I can play Turtles, the arcade game, on a Raspberry Pi. I can play it on my Xbox 360. I still have it on my Xbox Live Arcade. I can play it on the Legends Ultimate, but none of that feels nostalgic for me like playing it on my TMNT Arcade1Up cab, because I look down, I see the art, I see the control panel, pretty much the exact same way it was in the arcades, and I get that nostalgic feeling. And while that's not important to some people, they're just happy playing it whatever way they can play it, other people want the nostalgia. It's like, why do I have all these classic consoles? Why did I spend $200 Canadian on a Sega Mini 2, Sega Genesis Mini 2? Why did I spend $200 Canadian on TurboGrafx 16 Mini 2? Because I have a PC right here. I can emulate that. I have a Raspberry Pi. I can emulate through that. It's for the nostalgia. It's seeing the physical device, although it's not the same, playing on that controller and getting that feeling and taking me back to when I was a kid. Maybe I'm a sucker. I don't know. But some people want that feeling. Maybe you should take her out for ice cream. Stringer Films, $2 super chat. Yeah, there is this place called Laura Secord here in Canada, and she does like the, what is it called? French crisp. Maybe I'll take her out for an ice cream tomorrow and see if I can talk her back into letting me keep a couple extra. Michael, did you see the new soft mod that adds the main event wrestling to the Simpsons cab? That caught my eye. Yeah, I've seen some of these soft mods before, like the soft mod for the pinball and stuff like that. I've always been gun shy. Like, I think you guys have known me long enough now to know that I'm not the kind of person that I just am like easily mods things. Like, even with my mini consoles, I have one mini console that I keep stock and another one I mod. So I think it's cool that people can do that and they want to do it, but I'm always gun shy that I'm going to screw something up, and I like things being stock. I can't help it. I know it's wrong. I can't help it. Hey, Mike, after you're done, can I shamelessly ask you to watch my premiere afterwards? It's starting in a few. Sorry. Yes, console fanboy, you absolutely can. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Console Fanboy has a premiere coming out soon afterwards, starting in a few. Go check out his premiere. I'll check it out as well. I should still be up here in the office when it comes on, so yes, you can. Thank you very much for the super chat, brother. Dongled, look, I'm so desperate to play Cadillacs and Dinosaurs on Capcom arcade hardware, I'm tempted to get the Capcom arcade stick and mod it. You know what's funny about that? That Capcom arcade stick apparently doesn't have Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, but it has Alien vs. Predator, which is actually a harder game to get licensed, so I don't understand. I know you're looking to play it on a Capcom arcade hardware, but Mike, for you, I don't know where you stand on this, but there's this device called the AtGames Legends Ultimate, and you can play it on that. It's not perfect, it's not Capcom hardware, but I will tell you, no, you don't have to give me any more money, console fanboy. Don't do that. I'm just happy that you're here. Don't feel obligated to make any super chats. Don't do that. So, anyways, I'll talk to you more about it, Mike. And also, Mike bought his first Arcade1Up a little while ago. His wife got him the Golden Axe cab, and it's awesome. I'm so happy that he got one, making fun of me for getting these all over the years. And then he was like, we can play online, and I didn't know how to break it to him that it didn't have online. It sucks, because I'd love to play Golden Axe, or even Golden Axe Revenge of Death Adder with you. Maybe we could even play some Altered Beast. I'm late. You're getting rid of cabs. Yes, Paul 80. I know. I've got to get rid of some cabs because I lost my overflow room. I lost my third arcade, and I just don't have room. I'm going to try to figure out how to do it, so we'll see what happens. We got a $4.99 super chat here. Gallagher Guy 88. You love hamburgers. Take off the riser, get some heavy duty shelving, and make double those bad boys. That's an idea, Gallagher Guy. Thank you for the super chat. Right now, the only thing in my cave is my grails. And King Creole, that's an awesome opinion. Because when I started this, that's all I was going to get. Like, I looked at the games I wanted to get when I was a kid, the arcade games, and it was Turtles, WrestleFest, G.I. Joe, Mortal Kombat 2, and Street Fighter were the ones I had to have. And, like, I just got caught up. I watch, and I have always watched a lot of, like, arcade history type videos on YouTube. I watch a lot of John's Arcade, and I love classic arcade cabinets. I love the art. I love the design. Obviously, it's very hard for me to get them here, very hard to get into the hobby. And the accessibility of Arcade1Up caught my eye. So then, even though I didn't have like love for Tron, the idea of having a Tron cab just was too much to me. And then the weird thing was, Tron became one of my favorite arcades that's in my arcade. Of course, I wish it had a better stick. I wish they had used Glenn's design with a more reinforced fulcrum point so we didn't have any kind of braking. But again, there you go. You get caught up, and it's so exciting to get these new cabs, and they become your new favorites. That's the thing. It's more the point that it's licensed by Capcom. I know. I wish there was something I could do for you. I think Cadillacs and Dinosaurs is going to be a hard one. I don't know if Arcade1Up will ever make that one. There you go. Show Pitbull, 19K Fox. Fox, you said you play with your dongle. Yeah, well, I'll give you an example, Dongled. Dude, you haven't played this game. Mike Tendo, man of 1,000 names. Another example would be they released Outrun, but they couldn't put the Testarossa logo actually on the car, and they had to go with a generic one because the car company held it up. There you go. Yes, it 100% does. Have you ever had a fish food Ben & Jerry's? I have never had it. Rich D, it depends. Hey, P-Dubs Arcade Loft. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Michael B. Only Flan. I got to change that to a more modern name. Thank you very much. As of right now, unless Arcade1Up release an Afterburner cab, I'm done. They talked about it. Anyways, guys, I have kept you long enough tonight. You guys are all fantastic. Thank you for letting me vent, share this with you tonight. I'm in a dark place, and I'm downsizing my Arcade1Up collection for the betterment of my house, my family, my wife, and yeah, hopefully it's a better experience. I'm going to downsize, but downsizing, upsizing, because the plan is, like I said before, I'm going to be getting rid of some of my 3/4 scale and making room for either XL Pro or maybe even some real arcades in the future. So there you go. I wish it was that simple, Corner Arcade. I do wish it was that simple. Anyways, guys, have a wonderful night. This is Michael B. the Game Genie. Thanks for hanging out with me and cheering me up. I'll talk to you guys next time.